Hi, this is GMac for the Razor Company and welcome to another shave. Today's focus will be on the Razor Company's own shaving soap, Cavalier. And I'm going to pair that with the Edwin Jagger DE86. Stay with me. Let's get down to talking about the gear I'm going to be using for the shave before anything else. And I just thought I'd get through that before I can actually get to the soap for a special reason. So the razor for today is going to be the DE86. This has the black handle. It's the DE89 head. Very, very popular, very similar to the Mueller, R89 head. I do love the design, and one thing about Edwin Jagger, even though they may have the same head, there are these different handles that you can pick up. There's the pink handle, which is called Pearl Effect, and it's available at the Razor Company, just like this, but in pink. There's also the white handle, which is the imitation ivory, pretty much the same length. So let's talk a little bit about this razor. It's about 93 millimeters from top to bottom, and that's a very comfortable height for me. The handle is about 83 millimeters, so that should be about 3.3 inches, and I think the total weight of this razor should be about 67 or 68 grams, not more than that. It's the balance point of the razor is right here, so it's really nice, kind of looks compact and very easy to use. It seems like the handle is very smooth, but actually it isn't. It's quite grippy once you start shaving. So slightly head heavy, this razor. For the blade, I'm going to be going. I already do have a blade loaded in there just to prove that. And there is, of course, the blade overhang. It's definitely there. You can see it. So for the blade, the Wizamet Super Iridium. These are my favorite blades, my go-to blades. So I'm going to go with that. For the brush, I'm going to be going with the Yaqi 26 millimeter Evil Zebra. It's called Evil Zebra because it's red. But the beauty of this brush really is not just the handle. The knot on top it's a 26 millimeter knot with a 60 millimeter loft. This is known as the Snow Leopard synthetic knot. Really beautiful, lovely, backbone and splay, very, very soft on the face. Absolutely love this knot for all the right reasons. I've really used it a lot. Love this brush. For the aftershave, I'm going to be going with Stirling Margaritas in the Attic. It's one of my favorite aftershaves for a reason. It's got a lovely kind of slight floral sweet note, to end. For the bowl, the Hendrix Classics and Company stainless steel lather bowl. Just gonna soak my brush and get started with the shave. And I also have, there's a reason that I really wanted to talk about, the TRC Cavalier soap. Now, if you have to see, when you walk into a bar, right, or you walk into one of those wine clubs, what is the best wine available normally? Forget all the expensive ones and all, the, so-called premium creme de la creme, wine that you can buy. What is really the best? I would say the house pour. There's a reason for it. Normally it would be cheap as chips or half the price of some of the expensive wines. But most importantly, because it's a house pour, it's well aerated. And it's so nicely, kind of mellowed and settled when they pour it. You actually enjoy it a lot more than a expensive bottle being opened up and being served to you. And that's just my take. I'm not a big, wine drinker. I'm a bourbon guy, but that's just the way that I feel. So when you actually look at shaving soaps, you go in for all the top artisan, shaving soaps, and then we forget the one shaving soap that we really should be looking at. What is in-house. So like the house pour, if you go to the Razor Company, one of the main things that you're going to see in there, of course, is going to be, their own shaving soap. and that's something that all of us miss out on. TRC Cavalier. So let me talk a little bit about this soap. Now this soap, of course, is, well, I would say this is a sample, but actually it's a really tightly packed sample, more than any of the others that you can buy there. And you can get the 2 ounce pack, which is a big tub, which of course is on the way to me. I had to order it after I used this. So this is what it looks like inside. It's kind of a medium crope, not too soft, and it's not puck-like either. Let me talk a little bit about this. Now, this is a very fascinating fragrance. It's supposed to be just citrus, which is grapefruit and lemon, along with jasmine and white musk. If you actually smell it, you can get that jasmine and musk kind of blending in together with a slight citrusy note that comes out on top. If you take a second whiff of it, and then there's all these other, well, layers going on inside. And this is so unique because we often put off what is a home product or a house brand, and we don't realize that sometimes they can really surprise you. So the actual notes in this are supposed to be tropical fruits, sugared citrus, volcanic citrus, grapefruit, a bit of lemon, raspberry, sandalwood. There's all these different, well, fragrance notes going on in there. But it comes out as a very sweet smell. It's not like the candy sweet kind of fragrance. It's like a light floral sweet with a little bit of a woody undertone. Fascinating fragrance. I love it. It kind of borders, it's almost like a unisex fragrance. Like, I think if any of the ladies wore it, they'd love it as well. If any of the guys wore it, they'd love it as well. It's just one of those fragrances that falls in between, and that's why I really wanted to cover the soap. I mean, just to show the kind of value and the complex fragrance that has gone into this beautiful fragrance. I do hope TRC comes out with a matching aftershave. It's really brilliant. Well, great fragrance, very simple, packaging. The 2 ounce, pack also has the same, colors, the same, font on it. It's just the same, basically, just a bigger tub. And I was happy to actually order one. So, just going to whip up a lather, and let's talk about the ingredients in that soap. And this is what impressed me. I was very keen on finding out, how the soap was going to perform. So, one of the things that always attracts me is when there's goat's milk inside a soap, and especially tallow and goat's milk, and some of the butters like shea butter, maybe a little bit of mango seed or kokum butter, and it really makes a big difference to how the soap performs. So, especially on the skin. And I was surprised that this soap isn't really getting any traction. When I saw all the ingredients in it. So it's got stearic acid, vegetable glycerin, beef tallow, shea butter, potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, palm oil, fragrance, castor oil. It also has jojoba and oat bran oil, daikon seed extract, goat's milk, coconut milk, olive oil, sodium lactate, and there's this thing called shea butter and glycerin rosinate. I don't know how that works, but I'm going to find out when I use the soap. So very, very interesting ingredients in there. I think that's a really good list of ingredients, enough to kind of make for a good shave. So this is what it looks like. I've been whipping up that lather. It's fairly decent, a thick. Probably going to add a little bit of water to that. Never fear adding water to your soap. I mean, when I started shaving out, I used to, and I'd always be concerned about the lather becoming a bit too runny, but now I don't. I just go ahead and add a healthy bit of lather. A healthy bit of water to it, and I let the soap hydrate for a bit. So we've got a good lather going in there, and I think I'm quite pleased with this. It's fairly dense. So let's get shaving. A bit hot and humid in my area these days. have to sleep with the air conditioning on. Sometimes with the fan as well. So let's lather up and start with the shave. And I always look at some of the products that, you know, it's not because I, you know, do videos and I'm a part of the, you know, tribe, but I've always looked at the razor company's products and I've always bought them when they first come out. And it's not because I'm, you know, kind of connected in any way to the razor company. That's not the reason. The reason is because of the quality. So whether it was the TRC razor, the Vanguard, which is one of my favorite razors, you know, the heddled brushes that have come out, and I'm still kind of waiting on one of them. Because in some of the colors, the synthetic, the G7 not sold out really soon. Lovely lather, as you can see, it's got a decent sheen to it. And this will just tell you how well it's hydrated. So have you used, you know, Cavalier? Have you used the soap, you know, by the razor company? If you have, what is your opinion of it? I'd love to know, because I actually enjoy the soap very much, and this is my second shave with it, so it's very easy for me to dial in the water. As you can see, absolutely wonderful lather. And there's so much of product left in there. I used about a teaspoon of soap, so I'm not going to lie. But there's just so much of product still left, or lather on the... It's quite a dense, creamy lather. I can feel it on my skin. Moisturizer-like consistency. Well, that's what it's got. And it seems fairly slick as well. So, well, let's go with the first pass and find out. Nothing like actually, well, putting the soap to the test, isn't there? So, first pass with the Edwin Jagger DE86. Well, this is actually my first use of this razor. Picked up a pack of Mueller blades, and well, the seller was kind enough to throw this in at a deal, and I really do love this razor head very much. Nice slickness from the soap. I'm not going to say it's too much, but it's just enough. Very, very nice. I mean, the skin feels really good with the soap. It's probably the goat's milk has a lot to do with that. There's another artisan that loves using daikon seed extract. I think it's Zingari Man, if I'm not mistaken. While I was bowl lathering, one of the things that kind of stood out for me in the soap was the musk, the white musk. But now when I've gone back to so when I face lathered, that changed, and that sweetness from that tropical fruit. So that's like, it's not really a raspberry kind of fragrance, but the raspberry, when it blends with citrus, it's got a very nice, sweet, exotic kind of a fragrance to it. And well, that's what the soap smells like once you actually apply it to your face, as in the lather. My Wizamet is on its second use. One of the most amazing things, and I've always said this and I stress on it many times, I'm just like you. I like to use, really nice razors, great designs, and new, innovative designs. And I do love the fact that they kind of give you a different kind of a shave experience as compared to, another razor. So let's say a Blackland Blackbird would be entirely different from using, let's say, a Gillette or a Shikrona, or and the interesting part of all that is that, do I enjoy one over the other? Like you have, shavers who are really die-hard fans of. I'm going to say no, because I enjoy both the same. I find that a simple GMac razor or zinc alloy can give you just as good a shave, or just a different experience. Maybe the comfort level might be nicer in a titanium, but at the same time, sometimes zinc alloy razors shine. Let's go with our second lather application. I really do like this. I do like the soap very, very much, and I have to say now, with the second lather application, that citrus note, and I'm not going to say grapefruit, it's more like, it's almost like a citron kind of fragrance. It's a little more intense than lemon. At the same time, it's a little more exotic, like how grapefruit is. And I'm really a sucker for grapefruit fragrances, or essential extracts being added to a shaving soap. I really like that. Southern Witchcraft's grapefruit, or I used to like the Taylor of Old Bond Street grapefruit fragrance, but it somehow I just couldn't use that soap. But I discovered German Street by them, and I was happy about that. Lovely brush, very, very gentle on the face. It's almost like, okay, I'm going to say it almost feels sometimes like using, a premium grade silver tip badger. That's what this leopard knot feels like. Very, very nice, luxurious feel on the face. I really do enjoy using this brush very much. So still have enough of lather for probably another 1.5 pass. Well, if I had multiple days growth, I've just had 2 days growth, but if I had multiple days growth, I'd probably go for a 2.5 pass with the Edwin Jagger. But generally, I'm just a 2-pass shaver. So let's go against the grain. Time to get this lad back into action. The residual slickness is good. I'm not going to say it's over the top. It's good. It's there. The cushion and protection of the shaving soap is fantastic. I mean, it's on par with anything. I mean, look at that. It just makes for such a nice, kind of creates a really nice smooth surface for, the razor to glide over. Now remember that the D86 is a little more aggressive than the Mueller D89 and also the Merkur 34C, which to me is probably the mildest of the three. Very easy to hold this razor. Well, I had another Edwin Jagger D89 which was in stainless steel. Move that on to another shaver. And well, missed it, so I was really happy to get this one back. This is just one of those razors that really kind of performs. I've never really had a bad shave with it ever. And now that I have it back again, probably just going to keep it in rotation. I really like this combination of the brush, the soap, and the razor. And there's always this, big question: why didn't? Well, Edwin Jagger made the 316, but they never made a stainless steel, head like this. You never know. If Mueller could do that with the 80th anniversary, you could see one of these soon in stainless steel. Let's not forget that the D89 head by Edwin Jagger and the Mueller R89 were also in a very big way responsible for bringing back, D razors and, all the great designs that followed after that. Absolutely wonderful shave. Just missed a spot here. Love that. Real value. Absolutely real value. The Edwin Jagger D86. Just gonna do a quick cleanup, recap all the gear that I used today. You can see that the light's going down. So for the razor today, Edwin Jagger D86. The bowl was the Hendrix Classics and Company stainless steel lather bowl. The blade of choice was the Wizamet Super Iridium. Works beautifully in the D89, Edwin Jagger in the Muller R89. I just love that blade. I went with the Yaqi Evil Zebra with the Snow Leopard 26mm knot. And for the aftershave, of course, I'm going to be going with Stirling margaritas in the attic. But before that, the Razor Company Cavalier. I had a stunning shave with it, absolutely beautiful soap. It's a very complex kind of fragrance that falls more towards the light woody, light floral, slightly exotic fruits kind of fragrance, but when it all comes together, it's a very polished, clean smelling scent. I do love the way that the profile, did change a little bit on the face, it changed in the bowl. This is absolute value. Get yourself the 2-ounce pack when it's still available. Really excellent soap. So just gonna do a quick cleanup with the damp cloths, with the damp towel, so I can check for any damage done to the face. And I had absolutely none today. And that's what I've always said, with many of these zinc alloy razors, you just have such a beautifully comfortable shave. So no nicks, no cuts, no weepers, nothing. Just a really nice shave. Stirling margaritas in the attic. It is supposed to have, it's supposed to have a citrus opening, and many compare it to lemon or orange, but actually it's kind of more a little bit like lemon zest in there, along with the agave plant, which, tequila comes from that, isn't it? So it does really smell like a margarita for all things said and done. And also feels like it was a margarita, shaken and then poured over, those crushed ice or ice cubes inside, crushed ice, I think. And it's got that chill, intense menthol in this. Simple ingredients in there. It's got aloe, glycerin, I think it's got witch hazel as well. It's got denatured, alcohol, glycerin. Yes, it's got witch hazel, essential oil. Gonna go straight with it. Just gonna say cheers. Feels like a pint, doesn't it, sometimes? Or a quarter. Feels like a quarter. Now for a razor that costs a fraction of what so many other razors do, that shave close. And remember, the sum of the parts involved in the shave, and when it all comes together, it's just outstanding. So great soap, lovely brush, absolutely fantastic razor, and lovely aftershave. So that's it from me, GMac, for today. I'll be back again with another shave real soon, but till then, on behalf of the Razor Company, it's time for me to say bye-bye for now, and happy shaves as always, my friend.